coming in, it looks like Chapman has some pretty strong attackmen. We'll see what Coach Harley has up his sleeve for as far as how they're going to try to attack this Mustang defense.
Yeah, I think the strength of their offense is definitely their attack. Little feed inside there. Squirts out, comes back Chapman. George McGurk for the Chapman Panthers is out. Oh, nice cut. A nice save by Epstein. So it looks like Garrett Stemler gets the start in McGurk's place. Wiley Bono, number 8, with the ball here, is definitely Chapman's top player offensively. Though Tunney disrupts him on that one. Almost the garbage goal, but Epstein with another early save.
Yeah, and I think with that save right there, the shot clock reset, so the Panthers have plenty of time on this possession. Yeah, new for the MCLA this year is a visible shot clock. Here at the stadium, we have one at either end of the field. It's 80 seconds from when your team gets possession.
Jack Tunney with the strip on Bonham, but Chapman gets it back. That's the second ground ball that Chapman's got to maintain possession. Mustangs are going to need to get a hold of those. Oh, that looked like it ricocheted off somebody's shoulder, if I saw it correctly.
Yeah, that was Jack McKeon on that.
Yeah, lefty outside shot from McKeon. I believe it went off of a Mustang defender's shoulder, ricocheted into the top corner. And Brown and Halliburton back to the face-off X. We might not see anybody else today besides these two. They might take every one. Depends on how many goals are scored tonight. Brown wins that one cleanly.
That's White Foster on the LSM on that.
Yeah.
Possession unable.
Foster got a little over anxious, was thinking about the shot before he actually corralled the pass.
Another drop pass here on this clear. This is making the Chapman coaching staff pretty nervous here. Drop balls on their defensive side. Another bad pass.
Mustang breaks up the clear. See if they can stay onside. They do. Bring it down.
Maybe a little nerves out there under these bright lights in the stadium.
Yeah, it's a big game. Quite a few fans. All the fans are over here on our side of the stadium. We were supposed to shoot from the other side, but had some technical difficulties on that side of the stadium and had to scramble at the last minute to get over here. Shout out to the NorCal Sports TV crew for figuring it out in the last minute and getting us back up and running.
We got Sam Galiff trying to challenge his short stick defender. Might even try a little invert. Oh.
AJ Corrales with the outside rip.
I was just about to compliment the Chapman defender, doing a great job stopping Galiff right there, but he able to find Corrales successfully for that.
Don't think you're going to have too many times where you recommend that your players let it go from 18, but if there's a player on the field tonight that can hit from out there pretty consistently, it's Corrales. He's shown again and again that he's got the outside rip, and he does a good job of mixing up his shots. He loves to hit the low to high, but he knows when he can make that shot at the right point on the field, and that wasn't it. It was a low bouncer. Snuck it in for the 2-2 tie. Brown and Halliburton out again. This is going to be a battle tonight between those two.
A great save from Epstein on that low-to-low shot.
Yeah, that was Lemus with probably more of a windup than he needed. He had a lot of time and space, and from really in tight, probably just needed to take a step towards the cage and put that one over Epstein's shoulder, but he wound up, didn't change planes, and Anthony made the save. Epstein's looked good so far tonight. 3 early saves against 2 goals.
So last possession, it's like the Mustangs were trying to focus on taking their offensive minis either from an invert position or down at that low wing to challenge the short sticks. We'll see what.
Nice ball movement from the Mustangs. Stickney with a low bouncer, but Aguilar corralled that one.
Yeah, you tend to get the goalie dropping when you drop the head of your stick like that on that sidearm shot. Typically want to coach your shooters to get that to bounce a little bit higher out on the crease arc. That way it'll bounce up over the goalie's shoulders. Stickney not able to get that one to fall for him.
Yeah, Aguilar was able to corral that one before it actually bounced. He was able to smother that one down low. Just put it a little out further towards the crease line. That one might have gone in, but it's a good save. McKeon on the drive. Bonham dishes.
He's got his defender hung up here. With the shot clock, this actually kind of forces the offense to really do a little bit more than they had to in the past with before the shot clock was instituted. It was really just the ref's discretion on when to put that shot clock call onto the offense.
Galef goes for the pickoff, but doesn't get it. Epstein with another nice save off a shot from McKeon.
It doesn't look like that.
Or that was Bonham, I believe. Excuse me.
Like that was tipped or saved, so the shot clock doesn't reset. We got 9 seconds left right now, so Chapman's going to try to go to the cage and might force a pass like they do right there.
Yeah, that's going to be an over and back, but they'll let them play on, and then they'll go to the Mustangs. So that wasn't a save. That was a straight miss, huh? I better get my eyes checked.
I thought that was tipped, but
yeah.
There was no reset, and unless it could have been possible one of the defenders tipped it, in which case that doesn't reset the shot clock.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe it tipped off the defender stick. Both offensive looks sharp so far. Good ball movement. Good play from the goalies.
Shot by Nick Sando, goes wide. In case you're just joining us, we got a 2-2 tie here. 5:46 left in the first quarter. Here in San
Drive
Francisco.
from Gosselin. Oh.
Great save by Aguilar there. Gooses it over to Sando, and Aguilar knocks it out of bounds.
Aguilar goes for the ground ball, but just kind of knocked it out of bounds. That was a nice inside roll from Gosselin, just didn't get it to go. Both goalies looking good. Both offenses looking pretty crisp right now.
I've seen pretty good ball movement from both teams so far.
Yeah, Mustangs running mostly out of a 1-4-1.
That was Ben Grassman with the shot there. Aguilar snatched that up pretty easily.
Yeah, I think the Mustangs will be better off trying to get it through X and find the open guy off the pass up top rather than just the running down the alley and having a shot at Aguilar. I don't think those are going to go for most of the night.
It's like Chapman's pretty content to set up their offense here and really chew some clock out of this possession. Errant pass.
Unforced error there from number 13, it looks like. Looks like that was Brewster with the turnover pass. Effective clear from the Mustangs.
Looks like Cal Poly's got all of their offensive personnel in, and they'll set up their offense to looks like running the same MO. Middies challenging their short sticks down the alley. And
nice look from Galef. Over to Tregeezer.
On the backside.
Wing dodge, found the open man, cross crease pass. That was a good look. Dominic Tregeezer was out in the game on Wednesday against Virginia Tech. And I think the offense missed him a little bit out there on Wednesday. Back in there tonight, feeling good. And hits his first shot for the Cal Poly's first lead of the day. Brown and Halliburton back at it at the faceoff dot.
Yeah, we've had a few clean wins and a few scraps, more like 50-50 balls on these faceoffs.
Yeah, as important as both of the faceoff guys are to each team, I don't know. I really just feel like this is going to be a 50-50 battle tonight, and it's going to be some other aspect of the game that's going to be the deciding factor. Corrales with the tough ground ball in traffic to give the Mustangs as another possession.
Yeah, that's actually an underrated part of AJ's game. He's really good on getting those ground balls and getting it safe in your stick, no matter how many defenders are right on his hands.
Yeah, he's not the fastest guy in the world. Probably not going to blow the doors off his defender, but he's a big, strong kid. He's a tough player. He's played a lot of box, knows how to use his body to shield the guys. And oh, that was a wide open look from Hunter to Tregeezer. Tregeezer just missed cage on that one. He had all the room in the world, all the time in the world on that one. Good look from the Mustangs.
That's right, 2:45 left in the first quarter. Oh.
And he doesn't miss that one. That's Tregeezer with another feed from X from Gosselin. Cal Poly goes up 4-2.
Just a simple little backdoor cut there. Caught his defender looking to slide a little early, and he cuts right on his back hip. That's a great off-ball move there by Tregeezer.
Yeah, Cal Poly's offense has looked crisp, but it's not super sophisticated, but it's working. I mean, it's a basic 1-4-1 set. They're finding cutters in the middle, which they didn't do a lot of on Wednesday, and Chapman's really struggling right now, keeping track of those cutters.
It's like Brown not able to get the quick, clean win. Halliburton gets it.
Yeah.
And Chapman ends up coming up with the ball. And McKeon ends up
nice ground ball. Maybe a little.
Right there.
Yeah.
It's a gritty move right there.
Yeah, it's a nice move from McKeon. Chapman slows it down. We'll see who they look to work the ball through to try to settle themselves a little bit. Bonham's one of their star players, and he takes the run from the left wing. Little miscommunication from the Mustangs.
Oh, and
they get bailed out by the pipe.
And we'll have those.
Yeah, they can't have that miscommunication. They have to keep track of Bonham at all times, and they lost him a little bit. He found the midi, and the midi just hit pipe.
Yeah, it looks like they were a little too concerned with the matchup and almost caused the goal to happen there.
Yeah, that's not an uncommon situation when you've spent all week figuring out who you're going to cover and thinking about trying to cover that guy, and then they set an easy pick, and you just don't want to switch. But sometimes you just gotta switch. You gotta trust your defense as a whole.
That was a great move there by
McKeon. It's kind of hard to tell they're 6 and 8s apart, but that was McKeon again. Both Bonham and McKeon are lefty. McKeon comes around with a little lefty dip and dunk.
I think that was actually Stemler.
Was it?
Number 6, yeah.
Oh, you're right, Josh. That's right, McKeon's 4. Excuse me. So that was Stemler on the goal.
So we're at 4-3. Cal Poly has the lead with 1:16 left in the first.
Action-packed game in the first quarter.
Brown able to get the clamp. Gets the ball back.
Nice ground ball from Flaherty. Somehow doesn't realize there's a guy coming behind him. They get to release out of that box every time there, Flaherty.
And the Tackmen are licking their chops when they see a midi coming up toward the midfield without checking back. That hero back check. You really have nothing to lose there as an attackman, so you're going to sell out and try to get that check if you can.
If you don't get it, you get to rest for the next 3 minutes. And Stickney with a little ankle breaker move on the LSM. Takes the bouncer 5-hole this time, and it gets it to go.
Mitch Stickney has been described as never seen a shot he didn't like. I'd have to say pretty much everyone in the stadium liked where he was shooting right there.
Let's see if the Mustangs can win this face and settle it down for the final shot of the quarter.
Yep. The score is 5-3. Cal Poly is winning with 42 seconds left in the first quarter.
Brown wins it cleanly. Are they going to come off Corrales?
Looks like a little ricochet there. Aguilar comes up with the ground ball.
Yeah, it was a good clean face-off win from Brown. I think that was a little far out, little out of his range. But the that's a Panther in the crease. Something's got to be called. I guess they're calling a push in the crease. Oh, maybe a little ref discussion at this point.
I think Griff Hoblitz only have been in his back a bit, and refs are going to call him for kind of riding him into the ground as he landed in the crease there.
I believe that's our first penalty of the night, coming in at 15 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll see how Chapman chooses to play this. They're going to try and run something in 15 seconds, or they could hold on to it. And if they maintain possession, then they will not have to face. They'll go into the second quarter with possession, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to hold it. The clock is not moving, so that's a bit of a problem. Little refs time.
Yeah, it's one of the more maybe less. It comes up less often, or a little bit more of one of the more obscure rules in lacrosse is when one team has the. Well, I guess whenever it's an extra man situation, the team that has possession at the end of the quarter maintains possession the start of the next quarter with no face-off.
Correct. Yeah, it could be the defense or the offense. In this case, it'll be the offense. And it makes sense, they'll since the ground ball or since the face-off battle has been such a toughly contested matchup, it's been about 50-50, I'd say. Chapman's going to just take their chances, skip the face-off, and go for the man up. They'll only have 15 seconds left in the penalty when the second quarter resumes. But you can chase them around a little bit, and if they have to put the ball in the air when the clock ends, yep. Ben Smith might have been it, or maybe that's Hayden Thayer.
Yep.
Could have tried to get out there a little faster to disrupt it. It would have been a face-off, but Chapman has possession, and they will take the ball into the second quarter.
At the end of the first quarter, we're Cal Poly 5, Chapman 3.
So an action-packed first quarter from the number 5 ranked Chapman Panthers, number 9 ranked Cal Poly Mustangs. A little more offense than we probably would have imagined. 5 goals in one quarter against any Chapman team is a little unusual and a positive sign for the Mustangs.
Yeah, they're able to take advantage of really a couple really good finds on the backside there. There was a cut to Tregeezer, a feed straight through on another feed. So I imagine the Chapman defensive coaches are really looking to shore that up and really collapse on that backside and not allow those fairly easy goals when you're able to find a guy right on the crease or for a wide open shot.
Yeah, the ball movement from the Mustangs looked much better tonight than it did on Wednesday. Part of that has to be credit to the Virginia Tech Hokies, who essentially played defense, really tried not to slide, and their short stick midi defense did a good job of just shutting down the Mustang midfielders.
Yeah, number 7 on Virginia Tech, Zach, blanking on what his last name was, but yeah, he really shut down the Mustang short sticks whenever they tried to drive on him. So kudos to Virginia Tech, number 7.
Oh, a nice find on the backside from Howren to Stemler.
Right as the penalty released.
Yeah, that was a good-looking little play with only 15 seconds left in their penalty. They had some crisp ball movement, managed to get the Mustang heads turned, and found the man on the low pipe.
Yeah, it's always a dangerous situation, right? When the offensive player is releasing and kind of yelling as he's running in. The defense is trying to transition from zone to man, and that can sometimes cause some confusion.
Looks like we have Joe Johnson out there for the Mustangs on this face-off. Ryan Brown maybe just getting a little rest, a little breather. But that gives Halliburton a chance to win it fairly cleanly. Gets the ground ball himself, gives the Panthers another possession.
Looks like Chapman's finished subbing all their middies in and are ready to attack the Mustang defense. They're in an open set now. We'll see what they transition into.
Yeah, Chapman runs what looks like an open set. You can kind of call it a wide 2-2-2. They like a lot of picks on the wings. They do a good job of they're all capable of driving themselves, but they drive with their heads up, really look for those skip passes to the offside, and trust their teammates to can the shot when it's open.
Stemler
just flat out dropped the ball on that one. That was a definite unforced error.
Yeah, Sugo bringing the ball up for the Mustangs.
Nice clear from Sugo to Smith. Yeah, if there's been a difference in the game so far, and it's been close, but obviously we're at 5-4, the Mustang clear has been pretty on point this evening, where Chapman struggled a bit more to handle the Cal Poly ride. One thing you always see with this latest Cal Poly team for the last few years is their long poles can definitely handle the ball. They are not afraid to take it down themselves, move the ball upfield, and find the open guy. They're all good ball handlers.
Gorales driving up, feeds it to Hunter, gets by his man.
Evan Hunter having a day. Little sidearm rip to the top left corner. And Hunter feels like, seems like he's feeling good, carrying over from the Virginia Tech game winner. That's his second of the night.
And as a former Cal Poly coach, it's been really great to see the evolution of Hunter's game really develop over the last 4 years. Remember the first couple weeks of practice in fall in 2015. Saw this lefty rip from this freshman, and I said, "Holy cow, who's this kid?" He's really came onto his own this year.
Yeah, he's looked good. He's looked confident. Sometimes hitting the game winner gives you extra confidence. Ryan Brown back out on the face. Halliburton, again, I think he's taken every one for the Panthers.
He gets this one cleanly. We'll see.
But he's going backwards. But he takes it himself.
Yeah, face-offs are can be
Long pole getting a little
Looks like that's for
frisky.
Hottie. Showing some good stick skills there. Evading the stick check and able to get the shot off. Now, I typically coach my players to not really look to feed your long pole, but if they're showing some good stick skills like Farhadi did right there.
Yeah. Little popcorn shot there from 21. David Howard. I don't think that's what Coach Hartley's looking for.
Yeah, really looking to challenge the goalie a little more on that shot. And it looks like the Mustangs are able to get the clean clear, and they'll get their offensive personnel
to Tunney. The poles do the work. And the Mustangs will set up shop on the offensive end.
Looks like Evan Hunter trying to challenge. Corrales not able to corral that.
Hunter looking for Corrales on the backside. That was actually there. Got through the defensive sticks, just tipped off of AJ's stick. Wasn't quite able to corral it. They might have had something if they were able to catch that cleanly.
A little slipping out there on this stadium turf.
Yeah, it's an excellent grass field. These guys probably don't play on a grass field this good that often, a little shorter than normal. So a little bit of footwork issues.
And the Mustangs play the majority of their games out on the turf fields. Oh, and Bonham gets the wraparound for the righty finish.
That's Wiley Bonham with the righty wraparound dive. He's a lefty, so that's a pretty impressive move to go to his offhand. Goes for the dive. Bonham's the transfer out of Loyola. I think he spent a year at Loyola. Actually saw a little time in his freshman year. Don't know the whole story, but decided to come back to the West Coast. I'm sure the Panthers are glad to have him, and Coach Hartley certainly is.
Looks like Halliburton able to get the clamp here. Scoots it out.
That's going to be a push from behind, or they're letting him play tonight. Mustangs get it anyway.
And Flaherty gets the ground ball, and looks like the Mustangs will be able to clear it. To give a quick shout out to all the Cal Poly Mustang lacrosse alumni that have made it into town for this game, and all of you alumni that are following on the stream.
Hunter bringing 16 down for the invert. Oh. See if Sugo can keep this over. And he can't, so that's going to go over Panthers on the over and back. The defender can use his stick to try to keep it on his offensive side. He can't go over the midline or it'd be offsides. As soon as that ball comes over the midline, though, it's an over and back, and the other team takes possession.
Yeah, with that over and back call, it's just like basketball. When the offensive team, either by a pass or a check, the ball ends up going back into their defensive half of the field, then the possession changes hands.
Drive down the alley.
Finds the backside.
Nice skip pass through.
And it looks like Galef was able to tip that.
Yeah, that was a nice check from Galef. Recovering to a defender that was not his. Or an offensive player that wasn't his, I should say. Mustangs sub through the midline. Well, it's been a well-played game so far tonight. Little jitters early from the different atmosphere. Flaherty with the low-angle shot. And Panthers with the ground ball. Try to clear.
Looks like Panthers find their short stick midi, Brewster, and he's able to clear pretty easily over that far side of the field.
McKeon weaves his way through a couple of defenders. Slide doesn't come, but he misses the shot wide. Mustangs need to collapse on that a little better. Bonham back to his lefty side, misses wide.
It looks like Dunning had good position on him, and Bonham's still able to feel confident in that lefty shot, even with the defender right on his hip. Some good ball movement by the Panthers, getting the Mustang defense to rotate.
Slide to McKeon from Hoblitzel.
And haven't watched a couple games.
Sugo gets over the pick and throws a little lumber.
Haven't watched a couple games of the Mustangs this year. I've really been impressed with Hoblitzel, kind of stepping up and getting into the starting rotation.
Oh. That's a good look from Chapman.
It's Howren missing the shot wide.
Bonham with the lefty, low to high, but Epstein with the nice save.
Looks like he was Epstein able to stay high there on the low to high. Goalies have a tendency to drop a bit if the offensive player drops his stick. Looks like timeout for the Mustangs.
Tunney, close defender for the Mustangs, clears the ball, gets it to the Mustang attack, and Coach Dabrio wants to talk it over for his first time out of the night. 6:48 to go in the first half and second quarter. Well, what do you think, Josh? What have you seen tonight? It's action-packed, lots of up and down action.
Yeah, it looks like the scoring has settled down a bit as the defense is adjusted. Seen some pretty good moves from the Mustang offense. Yeah, faceoffs has been pretty even. As I think you probably could have predicted with two pretty solid faceoff guys coming in with well-coached faceoff units around them.
Yeah. If there's one thing you can consistently rely on with Chapman is that their face-off unit is always really working well together, always battling. I think Halliburta may have a couple extra wins over Brown, but like you said, it's been real even. I think it's probably going to stay that way, and it's going to be some other aspect of the game that's the deciding factor tonight. I think if the Mustangs can lock down on Bonham a little bit, I want to see who else is going to be their scorer. McKeon's looked good, and Stemler has one. But right now, I'd say I'd like the Mustangs' variety or diversity on offense. Chapman, a little more reliant on Bonham. Not that they don't have lots of good offensive players, but he's definitely the one running the show right now.
And it seems like at least in the early parts of this game, the Mustangs have had good success with their midfielders driving on Chapman's short stick defenders and able to generate offense that way. Couple good cuts from Tregeezer, high to low rip from Gorales up top, but the middies have been really generating the offense here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they couldn't do on Wednesday. They got up on Virginia Tech, kind of looked like they might run away with it a bit, but Hokies did a great job of battling back, really shutting down the Mustangs, though, and taking it to overtime before the Mustangs were finally able to bring home the victory.
Chapman may be in a zone here. They have there's a shorty at X following up his man.
Either that or they're just double pulling the midfield and putting a shorty on Goslin is what it might be.
And Aguilar able to scoop that up from Gorales.
That might have been a little ambitious even for Gorales. Good save by Aguilar. See if they can figure out the Mustang ride. And they do. Sugo gets hung up.
It's like Lemus has
behind the
got him
goal,
hung up.
or in front of the goal, I should say. Second time that's happened tonight.
And I almost think with a shot clock these days, you want to just
just
let him sit back there while the time ticks off.
Good D from the LSM, Foster. Hoblitzel on Bonham now. Tunney switches back. Mustangs might have got away with a little push from behind there, but
we got
refs definitely letting them play tonight.
8 seconds in the shot clock here. We'll see if the Panthers get a shot off last second.
He is in the crease, and I was going to say, I don't think they can call a push on that one. He leapt in. That was his own momentum. Gives the ball to the Mustangs.
Looks like we get it to Hoblitzel on the far side.
Yeah. Cal Poly doing a really good job of using their long pulls in their clear. It's helping them break the Chapman ride pretty easily, quite frankly.
The Mustangs are still trying to generate offense from their midfielders on the short stick defenders of Chapman. Haven't seen a lot of initiation from the attack. Although now
they've double pulled the midfield. That leaves Gosselin, the attackman, with the short stick, which seems like he should be pretty comfortable operating in that space. Finds AJ a little too far out for the shot. Thinks wisely of it, pulls it back out.
AJ facing some tough D there.
Yeah.
Attempts the crossfield pass and then able to connect. This will be Panther ball.
Just held the ball a little too long there. Tried to get it across the field, but put the pass low and it got through. Going back Panthers' way.
And we have a timeout.
Chapman with their first time out of the game. Well, the scoring action is fallen off a little bit here in the second quarter, as you might expect. Probably wasn't really expecting to finish with a 20-12 game after 4 quarters. But still a fast-paced game. I think maybe the defenses are just getting a little more dialed in at this point, and it's going to take some pretty extraordinary moves to score. We saw that from Bonham on Chapman's last goal with the righty dive shot. You've seen most of the Mustangs games so far this season. Josh, have you seen him run any zone this year? I haven't seen a lot of zone out of the Mustangs this year.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen any zone so far. Although the games that I have seen, well, I guess other than so I've seen Stanford, Sonoma State, Virginia Tech with pretty much just the highlights from Santa Clara and Grand Canyon. Yeah, no zone so far.
And I don't think that would be prominent in the game plan against Chapman. They have too many good outside shooters. They're gonna most likely rely on their man-to-man, but you never know. You might see it in certain spots. This would be one of them, but looks like they're straight back into a man. Sugo with the early slide and turns the ball over. Can he shovel passes up to, I think that's Flaherty.
The cagey move from the senior defender, Sugo.
Oh, that was a good look, but I think the pass got tipped and just didn't quite get to Gosselin with the pace that it needed for him to finish. And now we're going back the other way. Tunney a little too preoccupied with Bonham. Almost lets him just waltz in for a fast break, but they get it figured out. And now we'll settle in. That's one of those matchup things you're talking about, Josh. Sometimes you get a little too preoccupied with the guy that you're supposed to have. Doesn't do much good if you're covering a guy without the ball as the rest of their players score behind you.
And if I were Chapman here, I'd be really looking to initiate on the short stick defenders for Cal Poly. They just played a whole round of D, ran down on O, and then had to sprint back on D. So imagine they might be kind of gassed right here.
A little push on Hoblitzel. Of the things they've let go tonight, I don't know if that one constituted a foul, but that's how the refs see it.
And we get another timeout from Chapman.
Been a well-called game all in all tonight in this first half, as you might expect. I'm sure the MCLA and WCLL were able to get a hold of the best refs possible for a big game like this.
Yeah, there's only been a few calls from the refs tonight. Well, there's been one penalty, and then I believe that push right there was the only change of possession call I can remember in this half.
Yeah, they're definitely letting them play. And it's been a clean game, really.
It's always a source of consternation from refs if they're not getting, or from the coaches if you're not getting calls, or the other, no one's happy with the refs. And that's really if they're letting them play. If there's no safety issues, I kind of would almost rather have that.
Yeah. If they're not, if there are any hits to the head, I mean, they're going to call that, as they should, and especially in this day and age. But if it's just good loose ball ground ball battles, they're going to let that go. We'll see what Chapman dials up here. The 1:47 left in the half. Chapman trailing by 1. Got Bonham sets up at X. The other lefty, McKeon, on the left wing. Stemler. I keep getting that wrong. I'll get that figured out before this game's over. McKeon's top center.
And with just about a minute and a half left in the quarter, or in the half, can't imagine Chapman looking to trying to grind down the half for the shot.
There's the lefty McKeon that I was talking about. Takes the outside shot, but Epstein's up to the task. Makes another save. Mustangs look to finish out the half with another goal. See if Coach uses his timeout, and he does, with 56 seconds left in the quarter.
I can't imagine Coach Harley's happy with that shot. Epstein able to pretty easily save that one.
Yeah, that's the one that's going to be turned around and going the other way when you're shooting stick side stick. It's not usually where you want to put it.
I'd like to thank everybody that's joining us on the stream. We're here in beautiful San Luis Obispo, California. The Mustangs, thank you for supporting the team. If you'd like to make a financial contribution, you can go to cplax.com/support, and you can donate to help the Mustangs financially support the program. Being a club sport, we don't get the majority of the funding comes from player dues, alumni donations, and various other fundraisers throughout the year. But not a whole lot of financial support from the school. They've been generous enough to let us run this game in the stadium, which we appreciate. So if you'd like to support the team, cplax.com/support.
Yeah, and if you missed us in the early going, we had a little technical difficulties. We're supposed to shoot from the other side of the stadium, which is why we're a little bit offset and not in the middle of the field. But we were able to scramble and make it happen, so hopefully it's coming to you in good condition, and you're able to enjoy the game. We're going to have Gosselin starting with the ball.
55 seconds left in the half, so the shot clock will not come into effect.
Tregeezer making him pay for the insult of playing him with a short stick D mid.
That was a pretty impressive lefty rip, running straight away from the cage.
Yeah, he had to jump up to get his shoulders turned to actually get something on it, but he was able to do it. So Chapman's been trying to double pole the midfield. They started off with a short stick on Gosselin. They didn't like the way that looked because he was having some success. So they changed it up and went with Dominic Tregeezer, and he made him pay right off the jump. They might have expected him to wait a little bit there since they were maybe thinking they were going to count down later into the quarter. But wisely, he just took what they were giving him, went to the rack.
And Brown gets the win cleanly. Flicks it out to Twardy.
Coach is out of timeout, so the players are on their own on this one. They got 30 seconds to make it happen.
And it looks like Galiff will try a little invert.
Galiff on the invert, yeah.
And Brewster giving him pretty good defense, not forcing the slide.
Yeah, a little too much from Galiff. Oh, this is a little trouble spot with 8 seconds to go. Yeah, Coach Hartley's not going to like that. Would have had a lot better opportunity if he just let the play go.
Looks like we're putting 5 seconds back on the clock. So that's definitely enough time to get a shot on goal and see if you can get maybe a garbage rebound or something like that.
Bonham sweeps to his left, not surprisingly. Takes the long rip and
scores.
gets it to go 5-hole. As the clock expires, but I do believe that the shot counts.
I bet Epstein wants that one back. You typically want to save those on the run from about 17 when he lets this rip. Yep. Yeah, kudos to Bonham for burying that one down low. That's definitely not an easy shot to bury on any starting MCLA goalie. So kudos to him for that.
So yeah, that one definitely stings. Cal Poly played a really good half. About to go in up 2 goals. They let Bonham rip one from way out to bring him within 1. We're going to take a short break here, but we'll be back in about 8 minutes or so. 10 minutes to the start of the second half. still like that 24 just faking. Oh, good find. They're looking a little fresher right now, frankly, than the Mustangs are. Bad decision on the long pass. Faces the LSM most of the time, I would say. And Hunter! But he does find Nick Sando on the backside. And Virginia Tech corrals it. Tunney almost. Oh, that's a
tough turnover from the Mustangs there.
Yep.
And they get the goal into old mouth in order for that dive to be legal.
Wing dodge out of the 1-4-1.
Clears the man down.
Yeah, that was a good opportunity to get back.
Each team gets 3.5 before it's a 30-second penalty.
And that was number 8 on the faceoff, who is not listed on their roster, so we don't know who that is.
Ooh. Jostling in the middle.
And another one. Intimidating presence, so usually if you're on the field as an attackman at his size, you're going to be pretty quick. Flag down on the Hokies. Going for the Mustangs.
Looks like Virginia Tech has numbers. 9-5 win for the Panthers over Cal Poly.
Yeah, we don't need to relive that one. Brian Brown with the clean win. Outside.
Another 50-50 ground ball on this face-off.
One of the Mustangs captains, I believe.
There, off stick hip. Oh, the Hokies are able to tip it and put the ball away. Clean win from Brown. Still looking to press.
Stickney, good ground ball on the wing play. Big 5-goal lead's a pretty big thing to overcome. Hokies are going to try.
All right, and we're back here in San Luis Obispo for our match here between the Cal Poly Mustangs and Chapman Panthers. At halftime, we're 7-6. Cal Poly with the lead. Been a very competitive game so far between the number 5 ranked Panthers and the number 9 ranked Mustangs. Both teams dropping a few games earlier in the season. Chapman dropping to Cal and Georgia Tech. Cal Poly dropping to Cal and Arizona State, but I believe both teams have won all their games since then.
And we got Brown and Halliburton back at it for the second half. Ryan Brown chopping a little wood there. As I said, they are letting them play tonight.
Able to win that face. Oh man, it's getting a little testy out there. It's like Halliburton had the clamp on it, and since you're not.
Mustangs haven't touched it in the box yet. See if Stickney realizes that. Oh, and he doesn't, and they're going to lose possession. Well, maybe they touched it in and I didn't notice, but I don't think they did. I think the refs might have missed that one.
Galef,
or actually, I guess
trying to challenge Brewster here.
Yeah, I'm operating off of old rules. Never mind. Don't forget what I said. 20 seconds to get over the midline. Doesn't matter about the box. Goslin with the little wrister shot.
Yeah,
goes wide.
Not sure how much angle he had on that one. Galef able to get that one through and hit Corrales.
Oh, that was a nice look from AJ to Tregeezer. Dominic's not able to corral the pass. Would have been a pretty easy place to find the back of the net, but he wasn't able to maintain possession and get the shot off.
Hill able to get the ground ball and move it up field for the Panthers.
Tregeezer already with a hat trick in the first half tonight, according to our unofficial stats. Chapman, not sure what that was. Offsides, I assume. Shot from Tegeezer again.
Not able to get
Bounces
enough
over.
on that one. Gosselin backs it up. And Hunter able
another wind-up gone awry from the Mustangs.
Trying to shoot before it settles in his pocket. And we'll have another ground ball battle.
With a good hard battle.
Grassman with the ground ball.
Keep the ball alive. And the Mustangs settle it down a bit.
So this looks like Empire defense. Am I right, Mark?
Yeah, it definitely does. A little Empire ride. At least that's what we used to call it. Little 2 short sticks down low. 4 long poles in a box up high.
Grassman with the shot. Goes out of bounds.
Grassman gets above GLE, but just can't find the back of the net. Gosselin with another solid attempt, but
a little bit
goes just wide.
A little bit of a bad break there for the Mustangs with that hitting the pipe, and Aguilar able to save it based on the angle, and Chapman will go for the clear.
Yeah, Mustangs had a couple of good looks against that ride, but just weren't able to get it to go. One thing it'll allow the Mustangs to do if Chapman wants to stay in that is you don't usually apply any pressure or very little pressure behind GLE because you have 2 short sticks basically at the pipes. So that would allow them to maintain some possession if they wanted. Not necessarily burn clock, but just catch their breath and wear out the Chapman D a little bit. Obviously they have the 80-second shot clock to contend with, so they can't sit back there forever, but 80 seconds is a pretty long time.
Looks like that was Parker Core getting some defense from Hayden Thayer. We got McKeon with the ball.
McKeon had 1 in the first.
We got Stemler on Hoblitzel.
Stemler with the shot. He had a couple in the first. And Bonham, not surprisingly, had a couple as well. Oh, nice check from Sugo. I think he was just waiting for him to come back to his other hand there.
And Lemus unable to bury that one.
Sugo will dish it off to Hayden Thayer, senior captain out of Idaho. One of our few Idaho players. Ross Miller, he could be out there in the internet world watching.
Yeah,
probably our first player out of the Potato State. I'm sure that's not their official name.
I've seen him commenting on the
you all know what I'm talking about.
on the YouTube, so he's watching.
I know when Ross Miller was coaching, he used that Empire zone that Chapman was just showing to great effect.
Gorella is unable to bury that one. And Chapman will look to clear.
Yeah, AJ with a little question mark. Broken play. Tegeezer can it? Oh, would have been better served to just take the shot himself in that case. Not sure why he was trying to be so unselfish. Goalie is on a dead sprint, trying to get back in the cage. Really didn't need to make the pass there. Just take that shot yourself there, Dominic.
Yeah, I'll never be mad at my attackman for shooting on a one-on-one with the keeper.
He didn't even need to run the ball in. The goalie was so far out of the goal. He could have just taken the shot from above the restraining line.
Howren getting the slide, getting the Mustangs to rotate.
Yeah.
And McKean's trying to.
Oh, that's a nice save from Epstein. That was a pretty good low bouncer.
And Hoblitz will bring it up. Finds Tunney.
Mustang's doing a good job of running either the pole or the D-middies deep on the clear, making the Chapman players honor that, then opening up space behind them. I'm sure they've botched a clear or two tonight, but for the most part, it's been clean. I really don't remember any problem clearing from the Mustangs. Chapman had a little bit of trouble early on, but have cleaned it up since then.
I think Mustangs now have all their offensive personnel out, and we'll see what they jump into. Played a lot of 1-4-1 in the first half.
Yeah.
Looks like that's what they'll jump into again. Caleb on McKean. Caleb loses his footing.
They had
Stickney,
Corrales
good tip.
in the interior, but the Chapman player did a good job of knocking down the pass. Gosselin with the wraparound, coming up a little gimpy. Oh, whoa, that was a little high. Galef with the shot.
And I think that was a shot clock violation.
Did they actually? I'm not sure what the call was there, Josh. It looked like Mustangs clearly had the shot back up.
I think it was a shot clock violation.
Oh, shot clock violation. Yeah, of course.
We got Howren bringing it up. Trey Chambers on him.
Definitely settled down a little bit since the high-scoring first quarter. Nice stab from Bonham. Bails out his teammate with the errant pass.
Yeah, Lemus looking to challenge Sugo here on the right wing.
Yeah, Lemus had the first goal in the opening minute. Hasn't done a whole lot since. It's getting marked by senior captain Lou Sugo, so he's got a quality defender on him.
Tunney gets a quick check, but Bonham gets his own ground ball.
Good collapsing defense from the Mustangs. And Hoblitzel brings it up himself. We've got the double pull on the transition there.
Yeah, that was just a classic feed the man behind the slide, and Sugo was the two slide there, able to successfully collapse on him.
Yeah.
That was a good play by the Mustang defense.
Yeah. Could have been a little bit of a push, but he got mostly stick first. I think that's what the ref saw on that one. A little extension off ball from the Chapman Panthers, but Flaherty manages to get open. Mustangs still operating out of the 1-4-1. It's been effective. Oh.
This one will go to Aguilar.
Gosselin misses the point blank on a really nice feed from Stickney. Aguilar, Chapman Panther goalie gets the backup, and we're going back the other way.
It looks like Moy's out there on attack. That may have been him. Rather than
What's that? Oh,
Gosselin.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't see Gosselin. My eyes are deceiving me. I am getting old after all. Mustangs have missed a few really good opportunities in opening this third quarter.
Hoblitzer
Can't
gets the
seem
ground
to
ball.
find-
Looking to push it.
Can't
Finds
seem
Hunter.
to find the back of the net here in the third.
I didn't catch who the defender was, but that was a nifty back check there, and I believe it was Stemler.
Stickney draws the pole, top center.
And it looks like Chapman's continuing to double pull the midfield.
Yeah, we'll see if.
It looks like they may be back into that zone
yeah,
defense
they're back in
with
the zone.
two shorties down low, and that's what that invites is those feeds from below GLE to above GLE. But you have those four poles up in the air. It's really hard to get those through. Aguilar eats that one up pretty easily.
Hunter with the low angle lefty shot. Not sure he needed to settle for that. They've been getting plenty of good looks. Just need to be patient.
First time in a long time I believe I've seen that defense. Can be pretty effective if the opposing offense hasn't experienced it in a while.
Yeah, they don't seem to be clamping on to the ball carry behind GLE. And that could have actually been what they were in the first half. I didn't even recognize it as a zone. Might be a matter of you just have to go hard to the cage. Bonham works from the left wing. Sugo with a nice slide.
And Bonham buries the lefty low to high. Not all up at 7, 3:54.
And Bonham can definitely do that. That was the lefty low to high rip. Put it right in the top corner to draw the Chapman Panthers even. 7-7 with 3:54 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's pretty textbook shooting stance right there. Bonham able to catch that and shoot in the same motion. That's All-American level shooting right there.
Ryan Brown with the clean win. There we go. Ryan Brown takes it himself.
Able to put the Mustangs back on top.
The difference on that one between the one he had late in the first half is that he actually faked the pass to the point man and then took it himself. In the first half, he settled for a little bit too far outside. This time he made the fake, ran right in, shot from 7 yards. That's a really tough ask for the goalie to try to come up with that save.
Yeah, that's really really all you can ask of your faceoff guys, to win it to himself and go down and score.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot on Wednesday night. That's Ryan Brown in his junior season had a great year last year at about 67% faceoff wins. This year he's still at that same percentage, but actually adding a lot more offense, coming in with 8 points, I believe. So that puts him at 9 for the season, which is, I believe he only had 1 assist all of last season. So a big addition to his game. And nothing better for a team when your faceoff guy can score and assist, not just win faceoffs.
And Chapman able to get that last faceoff. The battle between Brown and Halliburton would have been one of the matchups to circle on this one coming in. Probably some other good matchups. As the Panthers unable to connect on a pass. Refs are really letting him play today. That's kind of good to see.
That could have easily been called a push from behind.
Hoblitz
and I think in most games it would have been.
The ground ball.
Hoblitzel to Sugo.
I think they may have forgotten to.
Sugo in a little tight quarters, but
they may have forgotten.
Definitely dishes it back to Flaherty. Yeah.
As
we talked about earlier in the first half, the Mustang close defending, they can all handle the ball.
Yeah, speaking of matchups, Tunney on Bonham, Tunney being the junior defenseman from Cal Poly on Bonham. Another one to circle.
That is Moy out there for Gosselin right now. Can't handle the pass. Pretty tough pass. Mustang turnover, going back Panthers.
Yeah, Moy played past couple weeks for Tregeezer when he had got a little nicked up, so able to get some starting time in. So hopefully that will serve the Mustangs well with Moy able to step in for Gosselin. Might be a little nicked up, taking a break here on the sideline.
Much more deliberate here in the second half. Oh.
Smith on the goal there, unassisted. He was able to run by Twardy and able to get the straight overhand ripper to the far pipe. That's a really good shot, and that would have been a tough save by Epstein, not able to get that one.
Yeah, Twardy going for the over-the-head check on that one, doesn't get it. Would have been better served to just play some good D and force him down the alley on that one. Went for the takeaway. Chapman, Panther protected his stick and came out with the tie. 8-8.
Well knotted up here.
1:10 left in the third.
Here's where the faceoff game can really come into play. if Chapman's able to get this face-off and continue that momentum, that really will play huge going into the fourth quarter. It looks like we have a face-off violation. Looks like Brown may have jumped early or something like that.
Yeah, I think
Panthers.
I think that's the first violation of the game, which is pretty unusual. Face-off guys always living right on the edge of legality there. Brown went a little early.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, Coach.
It's a fine line on the face-off guys especially. You have to try to time that whistle as best you can, and sometimes you just a hair early.
Looks like Chapman will slow it up and try to get the last possession of this quarter. Try to put one away and take the lead going into the fourth. Parker Core with the ball, doing a lot of initiating today.
Nice save from Epstein. Mustang defense got a little exposed there in the interior.
And it looks like
big save to keep the game tied going into the fourth.
Pretty competitive so far. Looks like these teams seem pretty evenly matched coming in, and scores only prove that.
Yeah, we've got ourselves quite a game. We got 8-8 going into the fourth. Two proud MCLA programs. You know, Chapman has had the better of the Mustangs in the last few years. I think the overall series coming in at 11-7 Chapman. Of course, the biggest game these two programs have played was in 2016 when they took each other on in the national title game at Chapman's Stadium.
That was the last game that I coached.
Last game for Coach Moore here. Chapman was able to bring home the title 9-5.
I believe they went 20-0 that year. One of the few undefeated
yes,
national
they were.
championship
I know
seasons.
they went undefeated. I don't know what their final record was, but you're right. That was an undefeated season. Pretty impressive feat for any coach. But Coach Hartley's had a great run at Chapman in his 9th season, coming in at close to an 800 winning percentage, which definitely can't complain about that. Coach Dabrio in his 4th season for the Cal Poly Mustangs also had a very successful run. And both teams are obviously looking to win this game, but looking for more than just that, looking to bring home a league title. Chapman Panthers in the SLC. Is that Southwest Lacrosse Conference? Must be Southwest.
Southwestern Lacrosse Conference?
Yeah. And the Mustangs in the Western Collegiate Lacrosse League, looking for their WCLL title. I would imagine you'll see both of these teams at the National Championship Tournament in Salt Lake City in May.
Yeah,
but win tonight for whoever gets this win, it's going to go a long way for their resume.
Absolutely. I think both teams are playing for seeding at this point. You know, Mustangs have the Cal Bears also challenging in the WCL, currently ranked number 1. Mustangs either looking for that automatic qualifier that comes with winning your conference, or you don't win your conference, then you get an at-large bid to that national tournament where the 16 teams are chosen from the field, where the rankings in the poll can definitely factor in, but it's not the final determining factor.
Ryan Brown with the clean win to start the fourth quarter gives the Mustangs possession.
Nick Sando with the ball. Getting the rotation. Corrales not able to corral it.
Yeah, Anderson Hill for Chapman could have probably gone after that one a little more. Seemed like that was right in his passing lane, but Mustangs managed to keep possession. Wow.
And Stickney not able to hit Corrales on the backside, and the Panthers will try to clear it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the Mustangs have gone away from initiating from the wings or from behind GLE. Both of those seem to be effective throughout the first half. Those cross-field passes can be tough to get through with a whole bunch of poles up in the middle. Well, Josh, we've done 2 of these games, one last year and one on Wednesday. Both went to overtime, so we could be headed that way again.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm.
Mustangs are 1-1 in those games. Last year, that was the Mustangs taking on the defending national champs at that point, the Grand Canyon
Lopes.
The Lopes,
Yeah.
the Antelopes.
They couldn't afford the ANTE. I guess they're just the Lopes.
And
Chapman with the errant pass, going Mustangs.
Yeah, the Mustangs scoring in the final second of that game to knot it all up and head into overtime on that one.
Hoblitzel wide open over the midline.
We'll see if this matchup ends up the same way. Knot it all up at 8 right now. 12 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Mustangs really effectively using their long poles on the clear. Really not struggled tonight. It's a little bit of a risk sending your long pole all the way over the midline, because if something does go wrong, you're obviously out of defensive position. But if you trust your players that they can handle the ball, it's effective.
And Sando looking to initiate.
Yeah, Gosselin must be dinged because Moy's still in there in the fourth. Hopefully it's nothing serious and he can get back in later in this game.
And it looks like Chapman's back to double polling the midfielders. As the shot clock expires, Gorales just heaves it out of bounds, and the Mustangs set up the red.
Yeah.
So that's good defense by the Panthers there to force the Mustangs into really kind of giving up and an errant pass there goes out of bounds, so that would be the Mustangs clear.
Mustangs force the errant pass from Aguilar. Break up another Chapman clear. That's been definitely the one area of the game in the Mustangs' favor is their clears have been effective, and their rides have caused the Panthers a little bit of problem.
I talked with Coach Sabrio a few weeks ago. Definitely focusing on the riding and clearing game was definitely an emphasis in practice. There's Moy with the ball at X. And Sando looks to initiate. And Moy again at X.
Sando with the Moy with a impressive little drive, just can't put the ball in cage.
Looks like Sando with the long stick on him at X will try to initiate.
And another point blank opportunity.
And it looks like a flag down on the far side. That may have been a push in the back with possession on the Mustangs.
Yeah,
So the Panthers will get a free possession here.
Mustangs have definitely had their opportunities in this half. They just have not been able to put in the point blank shots. That was another one. Was that Flaherty, Josh? Right, one-on-one with the goalie.
That sounds right, yeah. So Mark, when you have the flag down and you have the ball, what are some things that you're looking for your offense to accomplish?
Well, this is gravy time right here. There's really nothing you can do. Well, there's almost nothing you can do wrong because you know you're going to go man up right now. So you get to take some chances like that. That was a running low to high shot from a pretty low angle.
That's Parker.
But you know you're not going to give up a fast break because if the goalie gets it, it's going to be your penalty. So you can take those chances there.
That was a really impressive shot there. Lefty.
That was more of a
just stung that corner. Arm. Not even sure Epstein expected him to shoot right there, much less really nail that top right corner. Impressive shot there from Core.
So Chapman takes the lead 9-8. That is their first lead in quite some time. Mustangs took a little bit of control in the second quarter. Only had a 1-goal lead at the end of the half due to a buzzer beater from Bonham to close the half. Had a lot of opportunities in that third, but just couldn't find the back of the net.
And Brown able to come up with that.
Ryan Brown doing his best to keep him involved, to keep him in it.
And a little bit of a ground ball scrum here. Ben Smith comes up with it. Is able to get it out to Corrales. And the Mustangs will probably look to settle down a bit.
Yeah, let's see what Cal Poly can do. Faced with a deficit now for the first time in a while. Still lots of time in the game, 9 minutes. But you are getting to that point where people will start gripping their sticks a little tighter, as every play is going to matter just a little bit more at this point.
And it looks like Chapman has had some success with this zone or double pulling the Mustangs midfield.
Yeah, it looks like the Mustang middies or wingman just need to do a better job of rolling up into a shooting spot right there.
And Hunter tries to get it to the backside, not able to connect. And the Panthers look to clear it.
The drives from X against that defense are still effective, but they have to have movement up top.
Yeah, you don't want to be able to leave 4 poles able to just kind of sit in a box or a diamond and really just kind of sit on those passing lanes. And Sugo able to intercept
Clean
here.
Interception from Sugo. See if the Mustangs remember to stay on side, and they do. Again, the Mustangs ride pays dividends.
That was a pretty heads-up play there from the senior Sugo to step into that passing lane and intercept that.
All right, we'll see who's going to step up for the Mustangs. Sando brings the short stick down low. Stickney steps into it.
I'd say that was a good save by Aguilar.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad shot. They left him uncovered for a while.
And it looks like the Panthers will have a fast break here, see if they can execute. Hits the backside and able to bury it. That was Bonham on the backside.
That was a pretty finish. Not the best pass from the Chapman point man, but Bonham was able to corral it on his knees and put in the bouncer.
It's always helpful to have that strong lefty finisher able to be there on that far pipe on the break. So on the righty break, when you have the midfielder bringing it down, you hit the point man, able to fire that pass across the offensive box and hit that strong lefty finisher. Can result in some pretty easy finishes there, as Bonham demonstrates.
It has been a battle all night between Brown and Halliburton. Yep. Brown's going to get the call on this one with the loose ball push or hold. Same difference. Yeah, that is 2 quality face-off guys going head-to-head. Chapman, defender, goes the wrong way, but Mustangs don't take advantage.
So we'll see what Chapman jumps into as far as the defense in this possession. Looks like they might be playing this one a little bit more straight up.
Oh.
That was Sando trying to find Corrales there on the crease, unable to find him. Chapman gets the ball.
Yeah, the looks are there. They just haven't been able to complete the play.
I think they may have actually been double pulling the midfield there. That's been working well for the Panthers.
Yeah, they've been throwing in some wrinkles. Can't even tell exactly what they're in at all times. Looked a little bit like a zone at times. Double pulling the midfield at other times. Could be slight variations on the same defense, but it's been effective.
Yeah, you have to give it to Coach Hartley. He's never going to come into a game being unprepared with a game plan for really a top-tier opponent like the Mustangs.
Yeah, the one thing you always know when you're going to face Chapman is you're going to have a high-quality group of players, and they're going to be well coached. So They're going to have a game plan, and they're going to have players that can execute that game plan. They are never an easy victory. Over the course of the last decade in the MCLA, I don't think you've got any team that's been as successful as they have. They haven't won the championships. I think they only have one, if I have that right, the one they knocked us off in 2016. But they have been right there at the doorstep almost every year.
They dropped to Michigan State in the 2018 championships, and then dropped to Grand Canyon, I believe, in the championships the year before that. But I mean, at any victory in the MCLA tournament is hard fought, as the Mustangs failed to clear it. Chapman on the hard ride. Any victory in the MCLA tournament is hard fought and not to be taken for granted.
Cal Poly has a inauspicious time to have one of their first failed clears of the game. Really need the ball at this point, getting down to under 4:30 with a 2-goal deficit. Still plenty of time, but certainly not going to want to allow any more from Chapman. As a coach, I always felt if I had a minute left for the goal that I needed, that I still had a pretty good chance of getting there. 2 goals, easily be done in 4 minutes. But obviously you need the ball to score.
Looks like the Mustangs might be taking a page out of the Panther notebook, with Hayden Thayer heading down and playing on an attackman. Double pulling the midfield.
That is a backbreaker right there for the Mustangs. McKeon with the wraparound, or Stemler again.
Stemler burying the ball there with the short stick on him. Doesn't look like that strategy paid off for the Mustangs.
Now it is getting down to the nitty-gritty for the Mustangs. If they're going to try and get back into this one, they're going to need Ryan Brown to win a couple clean face-offs, maybe take it himself, or find A.J. Corrales on the point. Chapman has done a good job of, I know Brown has a goal, but they've done a good job of kind of playing it halfway, forcing Brown to make a move, but not leaving A.J. uncovered on that fast break point, because he will bury those.
And Halliburton able to come up with that face-off. And that'll be huge for the Panthers here, having a 3-goal lead with just about 3.5 minutes left. Imagine they'll probably start to milk clock.
Yeah, crunch time for the Mustangs. They're going to have to.
No need for them to press it.
That ball back.
80-second shot clock.
Yeah. Hartley with a
wise timeout there, as his attackman has 2 pulls on him. That's great use of his first of 2 timeouts for the half.
Picks are an effective offensive weapon, but at this time of the game for a Chapman team, you really don't want to be setting picks behind GLE like that. Essentially just gives the defense an opportunity to double you with 2 long pulls. You really want to just use your feet, stay out of people's way. Use the whole field in this case, since you don't have to keep it in the box anymore.
Yep. As we're winding down here in our 4th quarter, I wanted to thank everybody for joining the stream, for supporting the team. Cal Poly Mustangs are starting some fundraising for a new scoreboard out at our turf field. If you wanted to look into it and support the team financially in that, you can go to crowdfund.calpoly.edu/lacrosse, or you can head over to our new Facebook page for our alumni group, Cal Poly Alumni Lacrosse Chapter, and you can find the link there, or click like to follow us. Looking to get a permanent scoreboard out at our turf field, where we have the majority of our games. The school was generous enough to let us hold this one in the stadium. Most of our games are out at the turf field, up at the north end of campus. And yeah, thanks for joining the stream.
Yeah, let's see if Cal Poly can make a little run here. I'm not sure why the ball is on the outside of the box at the wing. timeout was called almost directly at X, but we'll say the refs know what they're doing. Got a little thunder play, 2 pulls on the ball, goalie out of the cage. Chapman's going to just try to play a little keep away now.
38 seconds left in the shot clock.
Not going to get the call probably at this point in the game unless it's really egregious.
And without the keep it in the box, they haven't had for a couple years now. Pretty easy for the
wide open on the backside.
Looks like Chapman really puts the exclamation point on their lead now. 4-goal lead with 2:30 left is going to be pretty hard to overcome from the Cal Poly side.
Yeah, that's Stemler again with a nice finish. No doubt that Chapman's got some good offensive players. Bonham's probably the leader of the pack, but Stemler really had a nice second half. Showed himself as a good lefty shooter.
Yeah, you have to take those risks as a defense to try to take the ball away when you're down heading into the end of the game. It's like a hold on Cal Poly. It'll be Chapman ball.
Yeah. So we're in desperation time now. 2 minutes, 4-goal lead. Going to be very difficult for the Mustangs to come back.
And Coach Hartley
Hartley's
gets his last
not taking
timeout.
any chances, though. Getting the timeout. Well, despite, it's looking like Mustangs are going to come out behind on this one, but really the offense looked good. Defense held it together for most of the game, just kind of at the end here. In frantic time, they've given up a few more goals. I think you can come away even in the loss with your head up. Mustangs really had some chances in that third quarter to put the ball in the back of the net and just couldn't connect. Hopefully, they get out, work on shooting shooting under pressure. I saw a lot of dropped balls as they were about to shoot. Just maybe a little too anxious to let it rip. But I think there are good things in Cal Poly's future. You can almost mark down the WCLL championship of Cal and Cal Poly. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I'd be willing to make a small wager that it'd be a Cal Poly game. No offense to Stanford, Santa Clara, or anyone else out there. Little goalie switch.
Yeah, it looks like Mustangs have
That's Baccarizo.
substituted Epstein out.
Going for
Maybe looking for a little bit more athleticism, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. A little more active goalie. Chapman does a good job. That it is interesting with the obviously the shot clock changes things quite a bit, but the end of the game, 80 seconds is an awfully long time, and not having to keep it in the box is really definitely advantage to the offense in that case. Even if you lost it at the shot clock, you're still in pretty good shape if you were able to kill 80 seconds in a game where you're up by a couple goals. Baccarizo trying to find the open man.
Yeah, I'd really like the
splits the double and buries it.
I'd really like the goalie to.
Oh, that flag on Hayden Thayer looked pretty clean. Actually, might have been a hair late, but mostly the refs don't want to let this one get away at this point in the game. We can look at the replay and see if that was a foul or not. Splits the double, comes around. He's got an empty net. It was a little late, but frankly, it looked pretty clean to me. I think earlier in the game that doesn't get called.
Yeah, and it didn't look like Thayer really took a running start to hit him or anything. I think that's maybe not a necessary flag there.
Well, we've got 141 left in the game. Despite a early lead from the Cal Poly Mustangs, home squad, looks like Chapman's going to pull this one out. Thanks to all of you for joining us online. We apologize for the early game technical difficulties, but
gets the face off on the man up face with only 2 players on the wings there. Yeah, it's tough to pressure the ball when you're man down here. The Mustangs will attempt it. And Chapman just looking to milk the end of the game, not wanting to get any of their players hurt. 5-goal lead. Yeah, kudos to Chapman for really pulling this one out in the fourth quarter here. Mustangs having the lead for really most of the game, at least heading up to the fourth quarter, and they really pulled away there at the end. Game a little bit more competitive than the final score might indicate.
Yeah, Chapman was able to overcome a little bit of clearing problems, but their offense started connecting. Bonham and Stemler played really well. McKeon had some moments. Mustangs looked good offensively as well. Had some open looks that they couldn't put away to stretch their lead at that point. And that'll about do it for us. Chapman Panthers going to take the victory back to the city of Orange with them. 13-8 victory.
Yeah, kudos to the Chapman Panthers for pulling that one off. That one was very competitive for the most of the game. They really pulled away there at the early parts of the fourth quarter. A couple garbage goals there at the end. Yeah, that was a fun game to watch. Fun game to commentate. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, we enjoyed bringing it to you. Second year in a row that we got a game in the stadium. We hope that will continue into the future. And thanks for joining us out there. And I think you'll be seeing both of these teams later on in the year. MCLA National Tournament in Salt Lake City. Yeah,
thanks for everybody for joining the stream. Please support the team if you can. cplax.com/support. Every dollar counts, and we appreciate it. For Mark Lee, I'm Josh Moore from San Luis Obispo, California, and we're signing off. Thanks a lot, everybody.